Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons linked game. Last episode ended with Maverick entering the Unicorn Cave, Dungeon 5. So we're beginning this episode by just heading into Dungeon 5 and doing the exploration. So because we started in the dungeon, and dungeons, because this is a handheld game, weren't meant to be super duper long, we were able to complete this entire dungeon in this episode. So from start to finish, you'll see the whole dungeon in one go. We will, of course, be leaving the dungeon at one point, though, mainly to reset this cart that we're about to hop in. We need to come back and use this cart once we get the item in the dungeon, which is the magnetic gloves. And so we have to backtrack to move that cart to its starting position. But instead I'm going to just leave the dungeon, and the cart will reset to its starting position right here. And the way I'm going to do it basically is we'll save time and it'll just avoid a lot of backtracking. So eventually, after you get the dungeon item, you have to basically move that cart back, and then you would basically go to the left of the dungeon entrance to get some more keys. And then you come back and you cross that pit there with the magnetic gloves. But instead, I will be taking the passageway over to the left here, where these blocks are. They can be blown up with bombs, and that will take me basically almost back to the beginning of the dungeon, where I can get all those keys. So I'll save. Otherwise, you'd have to basically get the magnetic gloves, then backtrack through there, go back to the beginning of the dungeon to reset that cart, and then get the keys. But we're doing it the easy way. Got the map. Now we're on our way to get the dungeon item. It's pretty early in the dungeon, so it gives a lot. The dungeon gives a lot of time to play with the dungeon item, and that's good because this is a unique item that really hasn't been seen in any other Zelda game as far as I know. Like I said, I haven't played like the 3D Zeldas because I don't really like 3D games, so maybe they're in that. But my just assumption is that it's a totally new item, and so they give it to you early in the dungeon, so you have a lot of time to play with it and figure out how to solve puzzles with it. And they start you off right away with this ball here that has an N on it, so it's charged to the north polarity, and then we use our magnetic gloves to put it onto that switch to hold it down. As you can see, every time you press the A button, or whatever button your glove is attached to, A or B, it changes the polarity of the glove. So right now we have them on north polarity, so like if we went to that north ball again, and we press the A button, we would repel it. Light repels and opposites attract. So just keep that in mind when you're using the magnetic gloves to maneuver those balls around. And they'll be used, like I said, for a variety of puzzles. Holding down switches, basically being a shield. Speaking of shield, we want to pull our shield out here so we can block the fireballs from these heads that look like Koopa, the main antagonist from Super Mario Bros. So when we push this statue, it moves the one on the other side. We have to push it onto a block. I pushed it one tile too high. I can just jump over the steps, push it down, and you can just look over. If you step in that little gap there in the wall, you'll be able to see, where the button to open that door is. Bats. Another magnetic ball. And the gloves can also be used to pull the masks off of these things. These enemies. It doesn't matter what polarity you have them on. Yeah, normally, like I said, opposites attract. So you figure, if they have, they're red masks, so you have to have it on south to pull it. But north or south doesn't matter. Both will pull the masks off. You call the order, you slay the knights in. Alright. So you want to get our boomerang out. Touch one of the almost knights. And if you stun them with your boomerang, then you can hit them with your sword. Or blow them up with bombs. So I'm going to start in the upper right. And then work my way around clockwise. And you have to open the treasure just like that owl said in the order that we defeated the knights. And if we do that in the correct order, we'll end up getting a key that we need to advance. So there we go. So like I said, I was just pick one of the corners and then just, you know, work my way around. And let's head on back down. I'm going to use magnetic gloves to move that ball out of the way. Yeah, we get some more rupees. So we're almost close to that 800 we need to buy out the shop in town. So you can see the north and north pushes it away. Some masks. So you might remember this room. This is that room right at the beginning of the stage, of the dungeon, where I wanted to just destroy those pots. That was the only reason I went up there, just so I wanted to break all the pots in the dungeon. And this room can be very tricky because, as you can see, the conveyor belt is basically pulling you into the pit. Especially right now, most of the first 3 sections you can get away by just pushing up against the wall. But then that last section there is no wall. And even there, getting the coppers can be a little tricky. When you're done, just fall in and put you back at the beginning of the room. So like I said, we didn't do that backtracking, but we ended up going back this way, which is right at the beginning. So we're pretty much set to, like I said, leave the dungeon, reset the cart, rather than do all that backtracking. So yeah, normally you would, if you weren't going to leave the entrance, you'd have to backtrack, take that cart, and then walk back to the beginning, and then basically collect all those keys from the bottom up, but we just went from the top down. So you see this minecart is back where it's supposed to be. There it is, right at the beginning. This time we're going to take the minecart on the left. We're going to have to go both directions. Here's another new puzzle with the magnetic gloves. We got these spinning tiles. And they're not too bad on their own. Basically, you just pull yourself onto it and then switch the polarity real quick with your gloves, and that pushes you away from them. Not too difficult when there's just like one, but eventually, especially in the Hero's Cave, there'll be instances where you have to spin around on one block, push yourself onto away from the block, and then grab onto another block real quick. So it's a lot of button tapping right in a row. It'll be kind of tricky if you don't hit the button fast enough. You'll end up falling in the pit and losing health. Good thing though, the Hero Cave, at least in seasons here, is right by fairies, spring. So if you ever need health, you can just leave real quick and then heal up. Push this block, and then when these magnetic balls appear, you want to push it onto this hole or this button, and that opens a door to the north. And that ball will just stay on there. Now we can head back to take that one cart that I was making such a fuss about. You'll see we use the magnetic gloves to push ourselves across this gap. Too big to jump with the rock's feather, but as long as we're pushing against the opposite magnetic field, we'll just float across. Go down and grab this key. A whole bunch of keys. The end of the dungeon has a bunch of doors stacked up on it, so. This takes us to the mini-boss. Most of the time the mini-boss usually may have something to do with the weapon that you use, the item that you find in the dungeon, but this guy is just nothing. Just a tiger with a orb on his tail. You just have to hit the tail. You don't worry about the magnetic list at all to defeat him. But there he is. Right. This is going to take us basically toward the end of the dungeon, but might as well just unlock the key door now. The way we want to go is we want to end up going, we need to go to the left, but there's going to be these big wall of like flamethrowers. It reminds me of going to level 8 in Link's Awakening. There's that one flame cannon that you needed the mirror shield to pass. Well, we don't have the mirror shield yet. You can only get the mirror shield in a linked game, so eventually Maverick will get the mirror shield. But in order to defend against these flamethrowers, we're going to have to use one of the magnetic balls to block the fireballs. We get the magnetic ball over there, but we can't reach that magnetic ball normally from where we enter the room. So we have to kind of come over this side, push it over to the side. Now when we enter from the south there, the ball will be waiting for us. And the entrance to the south there would be normally locked, but we took that one card, pushed the button, pushed the block, and made that magnetic ball appear. So yeah, you're gonna see this room, you're gonna recognize it right away. It's this room here where we push that ball, open the door, and now we can use our magnetic glove to use this ball as a shield. Just try to line up perfectly in front of you. There we go. And use it when we get back. And we're gonna go, this takes us to the boss key. It could be a little tricky, but I found a new way to do it. This was a real tricky room when I was playing it with data. But then I thought, this might be a neat way to do it. I'm gonna try something, and it worked out. So that magnetic block there is there to obviously lift you up to let you get the key. And you think, okay, I'm gonna go the hard way here and jump from platform to platform to get over back to the ladder that I need to return back to the dungeon. But I was like, wait a minute. Maybe if I jump with a Vox Feather up here, I can just push across, which I end up doing, and I can just skip that second platform. So, worked out really nice. So, Spike's the worst hazard here. I should have equipped my blue ring, but Maverick's walking my treadmill there. Blue ring would also come in handy against the boss of this dungeon, because you don't really fight this boss with this dungeon with the sword. This boss is going to be another remake or reimagining of an original Legend of Zelda boss. It's going to be Digdogger. In Legend of Zelda, you defeated Digdogger by blowing your whistle, and he'd split into 1 to 3 mini digdoggers, and you just defeated those little mini digdoggers with your sword. This one, we don't have a whistle to blow, and the flute does not work. So instead, we end up breaking up the big digdogger by hitting with the one of those magnetic balls. The game is nice enough to provide these little spark bubbles there that let us fill our life up. Because Digdogger can be a kind of an annoying boss if you're not really good with the magnetic gloves, which I'm not. Just see, I fell in the pit there. Pull yourself over, then let go of the button when you're right over the platform. Almost got knocked into the platform by that bat there too. There we go. Let's go face Digdogger. So So on the upper right corner is where the magnetic ball is. Pull it off. And then we just basically have to drag it into him, or push it into him. And then he splits up into multiple little digdoggers. Sometimes we stay still. This is where a lot of the damage comes from. When that ball, if the ball hits you, then you're going to take damage from it. It's nice when you can get him like right like that, where he's kind of by the ball, you can just push him into him and then back. Sometimes the problem is like the more of the little tiny ones that you defeat, the faster he'll end up getting. So the goal would be hopefully, like I said, to defeat all of them in one go. Look at those 5 of them split up. You can use the big ball to destroy them. Just one hit with the ball will like squish them. But they're running around so fast, and I have so much trouble hitting the big one with the ball that I just figured I'll just take out the big round sword and smack them with it. Because the big round sword has that really long arc to it. So it's pretty easy to hit them with that. Luckily he doesn't like regenerate. You know, it's just 5 for good, so we brought him down to 1. So when we split him apart again here, he's only going to be 1. Yeah. So close. Being so close, I almost ended up losing all my hearts here. I do have a potion though, so that's okay. I think when I played this with Data in the non-linked game, very similar. I almost lost to this guy, or had to use a potion. But we finish him off just before we get to our final heart, and then we get a new heart. And we get a new essence of nature. The nurturing warmth, an essence of nature. Balmy days build strong saplings with their nurturing warmth. Woohoo! And then the Mako tree will get a little stronger now and give us an idea of where we need to go. And now that we've got the 5th essence of nature, we can also go back and talk with that old man, and he'll give us the last of the jewels needed to get into the Tarn Ruins. And the Tarn Ruins is where Dungeon 6 is. The Mako tree says it's he senses it in some runes. So yeah, these are the runes that we must explore, and then once we explore these runes, finish the dungeon, then we'll be able to be considered a seasoned adventurer and be able to help that pirate captain down in Sabrosia. So we get a little cutscene here with the Twin Rover that we wouldn't get in a non-linked game. But now the Flame of Sorrow and the Flame of Destruction have now both been lit. Now they just have to wait to light the Flame of Despair. So, gotta be careful. And we should be focusing all our energy on getting all the essences to, you know, stop the Twin Rover before they start that, light that Flame of Despair. But instead, Maverick's going to be doing some treasure hunting, just to finish this episode off. Work to this section here. Change the Season 2 fall so we can pick those mushrooms up. And there'll be a ring in here, but you can't reach it unless you have the magnetic gloves. Now I didn't show it off, but I'll do it later. But if you turn to Summer by level 1, right outside of level 1, the lake dries up. That's how we ended up getting that one jewel. And there's a staircase in that lake, and the guy basically says like there's 4 golden enemies, one associated with each season. And so you gotta kind of go around the world to find them. We just happen to be lucky that the gold moblin, the first of the monsters, is right there by level 2, and we're had to change it to fall there. To get that, ring. So we end up just defeating the first of the 4 golden monsters. There's another one to the south of level 3. One by the hero cave. And then the last one's going to be near the Tarn rooms. Save that for another episode. We'll end up finishing this episode off by changing the season here to spring. And then heading to the north and then to the east. Because we have another cave here with a ring in it. That we can only complete this cave with the magnetic gloves. The magnetic gloves opens up a lot of places for us. One of the side things we can do now is we can go back to Subrosia and we can get the level 2 shield. We were told to look for the blue and the red orb. Both of them are inaccessible until you get the magnetic gloves. And actually the level 2 shield is really good for the boss of the next level. Really helps you out. So I'll probably end up doing that. But get this Gasha seed. And I'll just save my game here. And then we'll come back here and be starting the next episode. Take care, have a good one. Thanks for following along. Bye.